Okay,
Scott, say hello. Tell me
hi.
about your program.
Hi, Emily. All right, it's in 8 parts.
Okay.
It's a sequence. It's not a bunch of separate actions. In order to make each part doable in 2.5-day weekend, they each have to build on themselves and not go over a lot of extra data that, if you have do it in this right sequence, you don't need to do.
Okay.
So the first part is basic purpose. All right, you find out really everything LRH says about basic purpose, and then you identify your purpose for having a business in the first place. So the whole idea is you get revitalized while you're doing this, and you get rid of a bunch of the mass and overwhelm and single-handing and all that sort of stuff.
And we could also use this to find purposes and stuff, individual stuff
That's
too.
right.
Okay.
I couldn't. Wise wouldn't approve that,
But we could.
but I know how to do it, and it's really short. So.
Okay. That's something definitely that we are looking at doing on a because just our perspectives have changed.
Oh, cool. That's all right.
Yeah.
But like I said, of the 35 people I've taken through this, almost all of them, it was the most profound win they've had.
Cool.
Knowing what you're really here to do, I mean,
Right.
the nature of that. Okay.
Right.
The next one is the admin scale. It's not that hard, but it provides a whole bunch of examples of real admin scales
Right.
and questions, so you see how this all works. So now you can build your own. Plus, the examples that I give as far as the course goes gives you business examples,
Right.
where the demonstration ones I give you are on other dynamics.
Right.
So now you see how this all works, and in the end, you have a demonstration business admin scale that you can augment for yourself.
Right. And I've seen the one with the like the marriage one, so that was pretty cool. So anyway, good. Okay, continue.
So that's really to show you there are tools. There are very simple things you can do that are very effective.
Okay.
And the first two, the basic purpose and the admin scale, they're real call actions.
Right.
So far, everybody's blown out of their heads, and they can't wait to do the next part. I did one guy, he was so significant, I just dropped it.
Right.
Because that's really how that is.
Right.
The next part is the org board, which really starts the whole program.
Okay.
Okay? Everything LRH says about it is on a nice little learning gradient. I think I brought that one as well.
Yep.
You got example org boards that start for your business. So instead of spending 50 hours building this thing, I've already put the 40 hours in all the formatting and
Right.
another 30 and basically here's what you're really going to sort of need to have anyway, and then we just go through each part and make sure the wording is correct for your beingness and the business that you want to have.
Right.
So now this 60-hour cycle boils down to an hour.
Right.
It's still your product that you can take ownership for,
Right.
and it's not just this pretty thing that hangs on the wall.
Right.
So from that, we go on to hats and hatting, which
Okay.
extends from the org board.
Right.
You put all your posts on there. So now you have hats and hatting, and you get, like we went over, a whole bevy of hats in Microsoft Word.
Right.
Where I've already worked with a dentist to put these together. So like the org board demo, they're 90% there, and you can probably use them as is.
Right.
After that, it's statistics, graphs, and conditions. Probably know a lot about that anyway.
Right.
We go into everything he says about it, all the demos and demonstration condition examples. And at the end, there's a drill of 10 real graphs
Right.
on real stats, and you have to determine what's the 13-week condition, what's the current condition, what's
Right.
the trend, what could have caused this, how
Right.
would you solve that with
Right.
the condition formulas. So you're drilling this in.
Right.
After that, it's an introduction to promotion and marketing. Right? Very simple, easy. The real thrust of the whole program is that it's not like other wise consultants who walk in with 1 or 2 references and say, "Oh, this stuff will blow your mind."
Right.
No, I take everything that he ever said about this one subject,
Right.
and then boil it all down. It's all the gems put together.
Right. Pearls.
So-
All the pearls.
Well, yeah, it's not one thing,
Right.
Because it's the solution is almost never one thing,
Right.
You have to get enough of this information so that you can get exterior enough of the problem, and now it's easy.
Right.
So that's promo and marketing, where these are just the basics, and then just stuff that doesn't overwhelm you,
Right.
and
Okay.
a simple hat that you could apply.
Right.
And the whole point of the whole program isn't, oh, you will double your business. It's you'll do what you're doing now with much less effort, much
Right.
less overwhelm. And now you can get another 10 or 15% out of it because of that.
Right.
I mean, if it was $100,000, it would pay for itself in a year or two.
Right. Right.
That's the whole idea.
Okay.
And then we go through financial planning.
Okay.
And then there's a spreadsheet on that shows exactly how he does it.
Okay.
And then the last one is executive management.
Okay.
And I take a little different twist on that. I go through everything he says about executives and leadership. real point of all this is how do you take that viewpoint and everything that came earlier and make it all work?
So we can get phase 2.
Well, that's what phase 2 is.
Right.
The definition is an established activity. Sorry, yeah. The executive gets the people to get the work done.
Right.
So when you look up the word established in the tech dictionary, admin dictionary, it says org boarding in, hats in, tech in.
Right.
It just gives you the whole roadmap right there.
Right.
So that's why in the executive management point, once you really learn what leadership is and what executive is all about, it goes through how all the earlier parts, both the tool of management and the knowledge, how it all works together into one big system.
Cool. Okay.
And that's really the simplicity of the whole deal.
Okay. Cool.
You saw in the packs, you read a little bit, it's usually a paragraph or two or a definition.
Right.
And then there's an essay question from every possible angle on that, so you can't possibly move forward without really duplicating what he says.
Right.
And then there's a whole number of practical questions on, well, how would you really apply that?
Okay.
You know, so as you progress through it, it's not just data. It's like, how would you really use this? You know, here's a gun.
Right.
It doesn't work without bullets.
Right.
Fire it a couple times, get the feel of it.
Right.
That's the only way it really becomes some useful tool for you to actually get into phase 2.
Right. Right.
Because you can hand a guy all the stuff, and it may not even change anything.
Right. Cool.